Inside the carriage, the atmosphere shifted from quiet formality to growing excitement. Alan spoke eagerly about what they would do once they reached the academy, mentioning that they should ask Askal to demonstrate rainbow magic. He recalled how Askal used to create countless shimmering bubbles for him, a sight he had never forgotten. The name struck Rhea immediately. In her thoughts, she identified him as Askal Velis, the young duke and heir to the powerful Duchy of Velis, a man renowned for his striking appearance and often mentioned alongside Lucio. She remembered his lineage, the grandson of Marquis Diapel, guardian of the empire's borders, and more importantly, his reputation as one of the rare nobles who treated commoners with genuine respect rather than disdain. Alan began to continue speaking about Askal, but his words were cut short when the coachman announced their arrival at the academy. Excitement surged the moment they stepped out. Voices filled with amazement rose at the sight of the academy festival unfolding before them. Rhea observed the surroundings with quiet wonder. Though she had seen the place many times before, it appeared especially beautiful that day, adorned with festive energy and anticipation. The Duchess noted that they had arrived a little too early and were well ahead of the agreed time to meet Lucio. Alan responded that they could simply wait until he came out. Before the moment could settle, someone approached and addressed the Duchess, drawing Rhea's attention to the figure moving toward them. He introduced himself as Kenneth Petit, mentioning that he had introduced himself at the last ball and asking if she remembered him. He added that he was a junior to Lord Lucio by 1 year. The name hit Rhea like a sudden chill. In her mind, shock surged as she recognized him, the very person who, in her past life, had framed her for theft. Kenneth then turned his attention to Diana, remarking that these must be Lord Lucio's younger siblings and noting that he had heard they were coming to the capital. Diana reacted with visible disgust. She abruptly ran toward Alan and clung to him, crying out that she did not like monsters. Kenneth stood startled by her reaction before awkwardly concluding that the young lady must be shy around strangers. A small stir in the air marked the arrival of several noble ladies approaching the Duchess, their voices bright with recognition as they called out to her. They explained that they had heard a commotion and came to see what was happening, expressing delight at seeing her again after some time. The Duchess greeted them warmly, and polite inquiries about each other's well-being quickly followed. One of the ladies suggested that they should not remain standing and proposed that they step aside for a proper chat while time allowed. The Duchess agreed, then turned to Alan with instructions. He was to wait there for his brother, and once Lucio arrived, they could begin looking around while she joined them later. At that moment, Kenneth stepped forward and offered to guide them to the most famous café along Academy Street. When the noble ladies and the Duchess departed, Alan gently reassured Diana that the strangers were gone and told her she could look up now. She hesitated, seeking confirmation, and only relaxed once he assured her they had truly left. He then instructed her to hide behind him if any strangers approached again. Almost instantly, her fear vanished as her attention shifted to the nearby juice stand. She pointed eagerly at a blue drink, insisting she wanted that one. Watching this sudden change, Rhea thought to herself how quickly Diana recovered. She then asked Alan and Diana to stay where they were while she went to purchase the drink so they would not miss the young master's arrival. Alan offered to give her money, but she assured him she would handle it, lifting 2 heavy money pouches in her hands. The sight stunned both children, who blurted out in amazement that she was rich. Taze then instructed Jack to accompany Rhea, and after a brief acknowledgement, Jack followed her as she headed toward the stand. At the juice stand, Rhea stepped forward to place their order, requesting 2 blue drinks and 1 each in red, green, and yellow. She also insisted that Jack choose one for himself, offering to pay for it. He hesitated at the unexpected kindness, then quietly placed a pouch of coins on the counter and suggested it be used for the payment, adding that he had no real need for money and that she could keep whatever remained. Rhea reacted with visible shock at his remark. She firmly rejected the idea, reminding him that no one could predict the future and that keeping money close brought peace of mind. With practical insistence, she returned the pouch to him and urged him to take it back. Jack, caught between confusion and mild embarrassment, muttered that she spoke like an old woman. The vendor gently intervened to stop the exchange, announcing that their drinks were ready. Ria's expression softened into a bright smile as she thanked the seller and paid for the order. They began walking away with the drinks in hand. Jack remained quiet, lost in thought as they moved through the bustling academy street. Watching him, Ria sensed he had not fully understood her words, yet she felt certain that treating money so lightly could become a serious problem. As they passed a fountain, Ria suddenly stopped and directed Jack's attention toward it. He looked at the structure in confusion, unsure why they had paused. She explained that the angel statue at the fountain was a famous landmark, and that people believed tossing a coin there while making a wish could make it come true. Ria stood before the fountain, watching the clear water ripple around the angel statue as people passed by, making quiet wishes of their own. In her thoughts, she reflected that Jack did not seem like someone who believed in such things, and she admitted to herself that his skepticism was probably the wiser way to live. The memory of her past life surfaced unbidden, bringing with it the image of a younger, more desperate self kneeling before a similar fountain, wishing for simple comforts, food for the day, warmth for the night, and someone who would ask if she was all right when she was hurting. Back then, she had not known how to doubt legends or question hope. She had wished earnestly, then stopped herself, dismissing those old pleas as meaningless before narrowing her desire to a single, heartfelt longing. Yet even that had faltered when she realized she possessed no coin to toss, and so she believed her wish could never reach whatever power listened to such prayers. As she lingered in that thought, a voice suddenly sounded behind her, offering a coin. Startled, she turned to see Lucio standing there holding out a gold coin. He instructed her to toss it into the fountain and make a wish. Shock washed over her at the sight of such a valuable piece of money being offered so casually. She protested that it was far too much, but he insisted she take it. Still stunned, she accepted the coin with hesitant fingers and immediately tossed it into the water. As the gold disappeared beneath the surface, she could not help thinking that such money could have bought her full meals or a warm place to sleep. Yet, despite that thought, she closed her eyes and prayed again, not for comfort this time, but for something deeper. Whether parents, siblings, or even a distant relative, she wished with all her heart to find her family. The moment passed, and reality returned when Jack's voice broke the silence, asking if she wanted to try making a wish as well. She blinked, startled back into the present, and dismissed the idea as mere superstition. Urging that they hurry because the others must be waiting, she resumed walking. Inwardly, however, she carried a quiet resignation. Even after tossing an entire gold coin, her wish had never come true. Behind her, Jack lingered for a moment, lost in thought. He glanced back at the fountain, the rippling water reflecting the sky above, and silently considered the idea of a wish.
Hi, this is Winter. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Winter Manhwa for more exciting recaps every week.